So is it just me, or does anyone else find like the tigers in Zootopia like extremely sexy?
Oh my god.
I'm just asking, like
I know, but it's
particular.
like I don't. Ugh. Everyone likes the tigers in Zootopia. It's
That's
ridiculous.
true. Oh, by the way, I
Um,
started. I started the
I
show
not my type.
just in
Sorry.
Oh,
case.
oh, crud. We're on. Oh,
I
crud.
was hoping I could get a
Shoot.
confession out of you, like for everyone to hear, but I missed it. Anyway, so hey everybody, welcome. Welcome to Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. If you don't know by now, we're a determinedly drunk, cheerful, and geeky podcast. We're wolves that house in a tree. We
Not
entertain.
all of us.
We also have a fourth. Bringing you all the latest entertainment news. Sets a lot like a music appreciation class in the sense that we discuss certain topics and, we see how people would react to them differently and what ways they enjoy or not what we go over. I'm Zach Gray, but leading us in the crazy here is,
Hey guys, I'm Scarfy. How's it going?
and as well, we also have our youngest and most adorable one.
I'm Shujja, and I'm a float. Deal with it.
You're not a fulf. How many times do I have to say that?
Anyway, so we're here. We're actually missing a brother. The fourth of our set is he. Where is he? I know he couldn't make it, Scarfy, but I don't remember why he couldn't. Just
Okay. Yeah. You know what? I heard that Krüz was traveling back home from Maryland, so I don't think he'll be here to join us. He said that he might appear on the show if it's possible, just for leisure and relaxing. But as for the agenda, he does not have that memorized. So I apologize to anyone who really wanted to see Krüz on the show. He is not going to be here. But other than that, we do have Shujja taking over the music, and guys, I would really appreciate it if you can if you could give Shujja a little bit of love. I mean, this is his first time presenting, and he's never done this before.
round of
So,
applause for our favorite Falf. And I will accept his
Yay.
falfiness, damn it.
I am not accepting his fulfiness.
That's fair.
No
We'll agree
way.
to disagree.
Mm.
Hey, you did say you accept me.
Mhm.
I do have that picture.
He has proof.
I have my evidence.
You don't have your evidence.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't.
Do you want me to post that to the chat?
I never called you a fulf.
Yes, you did.
No, whatever.
All right, we'll save that for after. But Shujja, can you lead us off? What's new in the realm of music?
Music! Yay! Okay. Oh, 1 second.
Yeah, take it down. So this is where we put in the interlude music if we had money to do such things and didn't have to worry about spurious copyright claims. Being that we have not money. Perfect. And as soon as you say that, we're gonna get some claim by somebody who made stupid noises on the YouTube video.
Aw, that's my job.
Trust me, we don't want another copyright claim.
No, not again. Welcome back, Shujja.
No.
Okay. The first thing on the agenda, and I do apologize for my lack of pronunciation of name because I sucks.
Nah, that's fine.
Okay. Frank Sinatra Junior dead. Aw.
Frank Sinatra.
Yeah, Frank Sinatra Junior. So yeah, I heard about this.
Sad news this past week is the death of Frank Sinatra Jr., who died at 72 at the cardiac arrest while on tour.
That sucks.
He started at the hospital in Daytona Beach.
Of course, he died in Florida. Florida,
yay!
We're voting in Trump. We killed Frank Sinatra Jr. Guys, don't come to Florida. I'm gonna say, as a Floridian right now, don't come to Florida. It's bad news bears.
But I want to visit.
I'll visit you. I'll find you, so you don't have to deal with a state.
Aw. When the episode come on the past there, much like his father, Frank Sinatra Jr. have been in the music industry almost his entire life, following much in his father's footsteps. He performed as a love singer with a full voice and brilliant vibrato, accompanied by big bang instrument.
Yeah. If you guys actually curiosity, do you? Huh? Sorry, go ahead.
What?
Oh, sorry, I was gonna say, do you guys have you guys listened to any of Frank Sinatra or Frank Sinatra Junior stuff? Like, I don't know if you guys were ever Sinatra fans.
I've never listened to any of Frank Sinatra's. I know of him and I have heard of his voice, but as for listening to him religiously, not necessarily.
Like, even on Family Guy?
I don't watch Family Guy.
No way. Oh
I'm I'm
wow.
I'm I'm sorry to say if it came between The Simpsons and Family Guy, I'm sorry, I'm choosing The Simpsons. There's like no comparison. I do not like Family Guy. I am not a big fan of Seth MacFarlane. I do think he's a little bit uh full of himself, but
True.
I mean I can't really I'm pretty sure he's a great guy but he just comes off to me very arrogant and I don't know why.
He is a little full of himself, and granted, he's built an empire of money and Family Guy, like for everything from the fame of Family Guy. That's part of his ego, but he does not come off as a little cocky. But also, it's a thin line, I guess, between cocky and confident. So,
Right.
anyway, sorry to interrupt, Shujja. I was just curious. Shujja, do you watch or have you ever heard anything by Frank Sinatra or?
I heard a couple songs from him just like past few days,
Yeah.
but his voice kind of remind me like he's kind of like I imagine he would be someone singing classic Disney song maybe.
I could see that. Yeah.
I can totally see that.
Did you?
That's why I said you would make a really good Disney singer. Why didn't you do that?
Oh gosh. Is there anything else about him? Like I didn't know much about his. I really honestly I only knew about him originally from Family Guy. I knew about Frank Sinatra obviously beforehand, but his son I didn't know much about his career until Family Guy. I looked into his stuff and it was basically exact a carbon copy of his father, but he did a great job with it. So it does suck to see him go because he was definitely talented.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think he has a son who is also trained in this Sinatra way of singing?
He does have a son from I know, but I have no idea if he's performing. I don't know. That's all I have to add to that.
Okay.
So anyway, after that, is there anything else or anyone else in music? I have no idea what's going on in music anymore. I'm so out of touch.
Yeah, Shujja, is there anything else besides Frank Sinatra Jr.'s?
Yes, the next one is called Meadow Church 11. Okay,
Huh.
it's a upcoming 11 studio album by American heavy metal band Meadow Church. Okay, it's set to release on March 25th,
Okay.
which is Friday this week. Yay!
Oh yeah.
And it will be the band's first album in 23 years. Wow. Sin hanging in the balance to the featured vocalist Mike Howie.
So they haven't played a show in 20, like they haven't done an album in 23 years. I wonder if they've been touring or if this is sort of like I think I mentioned this in a previous set thing, but actually the Violent Femmes who do that song that everybody knows and no one knows who is by the da 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 da. So
I've never heard of that song before.
Really, wow! I don't believe you, but I probably just sang it wrong. But they came back and they haven't been playing for like 20 something years. There's all these old bands that are coming back for some reason. I'm not sure why.
I guess they're intimidated by all of the new rock bands that are coming out that that a lot of people including the rock industry say that they're not good, and so we have to like step and basically say, oh, the old generation need to step forward and actually start playing more rock music because the other rock music really is lacking sorely, in 2016 or whatever.
I guess. I mean, a lot of the pop music kind of lacks some of the old grunginess that I miss from the old times. But, like, for me, it's not even... I can't imagine it's that. I imagine it's going to be, like, they're running out of money or something because, bitches are still buying the old Violent Femmes album. I don't know about Metal Church, but it's like a lot of these old musicians are coming back. It's like people are still buying their albums. Like, they're still being played places, and people still need to buy the rights. But maybe what it is that, their producers took all the money. And now the band wants to go solo and make more money. I don't know. It just seems weird to me. I noticed a big movement back. Sorry to interrupt you. Just sorry.
It's all right. For me, I'm never really a metal guy, so I was like, who are you in?
Right.
Who are you? Yeah. I listen to like country music with Scarfy. Scarfy have a problem with it.
Oh, really?
Hey, I want to be frank. I don't have a problem with country music. It's just I wouldn't listen to it, and you need to understand something, Shujja. Not a lot of people, especially in this day and age, really like country music.
I do.
It's not country music. It's similar something to like Shiny and Zack doing. So
Folk, you mean?
Folk music.
and it's kind of like basically I listen to a couple of singers and I just like I like guitar music. Maybe I should call it like that.
No, it's actually it's really called folk music. folk. Is what we do, what a lot of people do, and that's like who's the group that does Little Lion Man? Mumford and Sons. Like they're a folk band that a lot of people like, and of Mice and Men. Sorry, not Monsters. Of Mice and Men. No, of Monsters and Men. Mice and Monsters. Shit, what's the name of that band? Whatever. But they're.
Could you hold on for 1 second?
Yeah. But folk is like, it's making a big way back. Personally, like, I'm not a huge fan of old country. Like, I'm showing my age here, but like, I remember listening to like Conway Twitty and early Johnny Cash stuff. And, it's like, it wasn't the greatest thing for me, but a lot of like Southern rock, not necessarily Skinner, though Skinner has place like later bands like Firecracker and First Aid Kit and the Bottle Rockets, like those bands blew me away because they had this really grungy, disenchanted view of the South. It wasn't like, oh yeah, wave the rebel flag. It's like, okay, so this is how fucked up things are down here. And we're going to sing about like all the meth cooking and the moonshine making and the sort of generation that's breeded in the South through like the weird tunnel vision view of racist Southern pride upbringing that's come up in the world. And I think that version of country was really cool. It's like being able to identify your own culture's faults and be like, this is what it is. Was like that's a really interesting take on country. So, but that's just my opinion.
Mm-hmm.
So, anything else on the music agenda, Shujja?
You sound so excited.
I know, right? Did we wake you up, good sir?
Oh, I'm very much awake.
Next song is I have no idea how to say it. If I say it wrong,
Celine Dion.
But you kill my moment.
Sorry. I sorry.
Celine Dion, new album, yay, who are you? One of the greatest female singer of all time. No, you don't. It's apparently coming out with the new untitled album on March 25th. Dion announced in her social media that she had begun working on a new French album. Yay, fancy. Posting a photo by the side of, what the hell?
Algerian
singer Zahu. Yahoo!
Zaho.
Is that how you pronounce it?
Zaho.
Is it Zaho?
Yeah, it looks like Zahu.
I'm with Shujja. I had no idea how to pronounce that.
This is also interesting because lately she's been singing her number one single at the Colosseum at Caesar Palace in Vegas. Oh, fancy. For some time now. But hey, I guess people really like hearing Titanic song being played over and over.
Admittedly, I'd say that's
I like the Titanic song. I would not saying it like over like 10 times in a row, but like maybe like 2 in the morning and then a couple of times throughout the day. Yeah, I could deal with that.
That song makes so many appearances when I'm playing games with people, like the whole Into the Arms. It's Into the Arms of Angels, hers, right?
No, that's Sarah McLachlan, dude.
Is that really McLachlan? Wow.
Yes,
man.
that's Sarah McLachlan.
Oh, wow. What song am I thinking of? All right, you go ahead. Sorry. If you have anything else, go for it.
Well, like, Celine Dion being one of the most powerful female voices of our time, it's kind of interesting how she has a new album and like she's also able to speak different languages, not just English.
I'm sorry, I don't believe that.
What?
She's the strongest singer in our generation, our current one.
One of them.
Okay, then I'll agree with that.
Yeah. I mean, like she's a very powerful person. Not only is her voice powerful, but she's powerful herself.
Oh,
But then again, like,
My Heart Will Go On. My bad.
yeah.
That's her. Okay. Nope. Yeah, I know the name, but I don't know any of her work. She's just one of those names I kind of hear floating around all the time.
I remember this one person who heard this song play on the radio like over and over and over again, and it played like five different times, and he made a vow saying, if I ever hear that song play one more time, I am not going to see Titanic.
Nobody see Titanic.
Like,
I never see Titanic.
I have actually, but it's been a long time. It's been years.
I actually saw it in IMAX
history of
3D
it, but I never
re-release.
Oh, the re-release, huh?
The re-release of Titanic,
Right.
which was pretty good. And I love Titanic, so I apologize to any people who are not the biggest Titanic fans. I know there are some people who really hate Titanic, but personally, while I wouldn't put it as one of my all-time favorite films, I'll definitely give it the credit it deserves for being a pretty good movie.
Well, they create Titanic, and it's gonna go around the world soon. I think I read about it like past month, but I need to look it up.
Okay.
I mean,
They already like the boat is already complete, and it's only waiting for the day to set sail. And say, okay, this is interesting.
Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, one thing. Hold on for a second. There we go. So, is there anything else on music, or is that it? I didn't see anything else, but I don't know
I
if there's anything I
think
missed.
that's it.
All right. Well, I guess I'll take it over from here for game news and whatnot. So the first game I want to talk about, which is fairly popular for those of you who haven't played Fallout 4 or bought it, then you're in the same boat as me. I still haven't. I've been wanting to. I love the Fallout games. I think they're fantastic. But Fallout 4, which had unbelievable success, came out with a new installment. So Fallout 4 came back in 2015, as many of you know, and since then the fan base has been just like pressing more and more for Bethesda to give them some DLC to help feed their insatiable appetite for post-apocalyptic battle, scavenging, and stories, and all the other goodness that we come to expect from the Fallout series. In response, Bethesda announced the DLC packages for the next 3 months starting, not today, but this month. One in March, one in April, one in May. Fallout 4 Automatron is the first of these DLC packages. In the DLC, you're basically going to meet with a character that first debuted actually in Fallout 3, if I remember correctly. He's known as the Mechanist. And in Fallout 3, he was a crazy guy who's basing his whole identity off of a comic book character. And I'm assuming that's basically what this is going to be again. I don't know if it's going to be the same person from Fallout 3. I can't imagine. But basically, the Mechanist has built an robot army that is waging war on the Commonwealth. The good news is that when fighting this robot army, which you're of course going to have to do, you can take down the robots and harvest their parts for yourself to build your own robo-companion. So basically, you're going to be going around destroying robots and creating your own post-apocalyptic battle bot familiar, which to me sounds really fun. The different robots have different armor, limbs, abilities, weapons, and paints and voices that you can customize them with, and from what I've seen of the footage and everything, it looks like it's going to be a blast. Just destroying these robots, putting that back together, having your own sort of like if Rosie from the Jetsons was also a warbot death machine, basically sort of that. So it's a pretty badass game idea. The DLC is going to be out $9.99, and it's going to be released on March 22nd for PC, PS4, and Xbox One.
You want to know something funny? Like I remember a lot of people getting into Fallout 4, and I remember there was this funny the episode where SpongeBob got his license, where SpongeBob was trying to get his boating license.
Yeah.
And the fish guy was Fallout 4, and SpongeBob was Half-Life 3, and the fish guy goes, "Hey, I just got my sequel," and then SpongeBob goes, "Hey, I'm getting mine next," and then he's like, "Hey, I doubt it."
Oh yeah, yeah, I do remember that. I haven't seen that meme though. I need to go and look for it.
Yeah, it's there, but
right. I forget. Have either of you guys played any of the Fallout games or know anything of the story of it?
I haven't played any of the Fallout games, sadly. I know little to nothing about Fallout. I mean, I'm currently playing this game called. I know little to nothing about Fallout, sadly.
That's fair. What about you, Shujja?
Well, I only want to play Fallout, but never have the money for it. It's like, oops. It's like, yeah, you got money. No, you don't.
Gallo Viking just asked, haven't they doubled the DLC prices?
If they did, it was very recently, and I didn't get to see that. When I last checked was a couple days back, so there could have been an update that I'm unaware of. But from to the best of my knowledge, it was nearly doubled in euros, so that's possible. But
Okay.
More money.
one thing I will say, Churchill, if you ever really want to play it, I would say, like, to this day, Fallout 3 is still pretty good. Like, and it's a lot cheaper. So if you ever want to try a Fallout game for the hell of it, but you don't want to spend the ass ton of money that Fallout 4 still is, go with Fallout 3. It's still, I loved that game. It was great. I wouldn't go with Fallout 2 or 1, not because they're bad, but because just generationally, it's always hard to go back to games that are very, very like weaker graphics, and also Bethesda wasn't in charge of those two, so it doesn't have the same sort of gameplay style. But if you ever get a chance, I'd say get Fallout 3 Game of the Year edition. I think it's like $10 these days. It's really cheap.
I kind of want to wait until the Fallout 4 game gonna be included in that giant nuke they sell at GameStop.
Oh,
So
yeah, yeah.
I one and just like have all the collection and just let it sit there. I have a nuke in my room.
That makes
Deal.
sense. Yeah, no, that's definitely a good way to go about it. I just know that, like, I'm often impatient with certain things, and I want to get onto the gravy train while it's rolling. So
Still love Wolf.
that's not how subliminal messaging works. Anyway, any more thoughts on that?
No, I got nothing for Fallout 4. Honestly, I apologize.
No, that's good. I mean, like, none of these games, that's the only game that I have any experience of the series. The next ones that I have along the line, I don't have really any experience of playing any sequels by them. Well, one of them doesn't have, prequels. One of them doesn't have any prequels. But the next game is actually a game called Republique.
Yay!
You've heard of this game?
I played this game.
You played? Oh, yeah, that's right. Because this game opened up in episodes beforehand. The final episode's coming out. Well, I'll just inform them, and I'll get your feedback because I haven't played any of these. I didn't even hear about it until recently. It just sounded really cool. So, on the subject of dystopian, post-apocalyptic, all that, Republique is it's a game. It's a game done by the developers Camouflage and Logan Games, and you basically play the game as yourself. Actually, the main character's name is Hope, and she communicates with you through various devices. Throughout the game, such as phones and computers, or text would still be phone, I guess, but text, all sorts of stuff like that. And basically, you need to help her escape this totalitarian regime government facility that she's in by hacking into security camera systems and other devices to keep her safe and keep the enforcers of the Republic from capturing her. The game itself is a lot like Metal Gear Solid or Splinter Cell in different ways. And sort of dystopian. Okay, like for comparison, that's kind of weird, and maybe you need to be a little drunk or a little in an interesting state of mind to think of it this way. But it's sort of like if the game Metal Gear Solid and the movie Logan's Run had a drunk night together and had a baby, and that baby was raised by George Orwell's 1984.
Which I have read, by the way.
It's got that same sort of
You know what?
tone.
They have that book in the game.
Really? It's in the game?
Pick that as an item.
That's hilarious.
And then they have like animal farm, all this like
What?
goodie book they ban in some countries.
Yeah.
You pick that up as a bonus item.
That's excellent Easter eggs, man. Oh man, that's great. I mean, I'd expect nothing less from that. I think the Camouflage or Logan Game, I think it's Camouflage, were actually in charge of the development of Metal Gear Solid 4 and a lot more of those old conspiracy, espionage, infiltration games. So that actually makes sense. But that's really cool. But basically, what I can't tell from the game is there's a bunch of tones of oppression, conspiracy, and it's a big sort of like thriller, suspenseful game as much as it is tactful, stealth based. And I mean, I feel like I say this about most games we see nowadays. it's beautiful to look at, but now that's becoming more and more of an expectation instead of a plus for games. So as I was mentioning earlier, Shujja, the games have already been released in episodes before this. This is actually the 5th episode. Previous episodes were called Exordium, Metamorphosis, Ones and Zeros, and God's Ace.
I only played.
God's Acre. Sorry, what was that, Shujja?
I only played the first 2 episodes, and then they took forever to release the third one, and I lost my interest.
So let me ask, did you play it on PC, Mac, Android, or the iPhone? Because apparently it's for all of them.
I played the first time when they come out,
Uh-huh.
and for some weird reason on the first week it was free, so I was like, why not?
Yeah, exactly.
So I hook it up. It come with battery in like 1 hour, and I keep playing that constantly. It's really good game, but then it took so long to release the next episode, and it's like, oh my god, I'm gonna die. So it just eventually I forget about it, and then I just never get back to it.
Right. Well, I mean, for any of you who don't want to deal with the load time through a phone or battery dying, the good news is the 5th episode is going to be released at the same time as full games are going to be released on all the that's going to be released with all the episodes in one. Like all 5 will be released as a solid game. So the 5th episode is coming out for the devices I mentioned, and the full game is coming out for PS4, Xbox One, and on Steam. All this happening on March 22nd. Which, if I remember correctly, most of the things going on this coming week are coming out March 22nd. It's a popular day for everything. I don't know why Tuesday.
And
so cool,
Shiny dies of old age waiting.
Wait, what?
Shiny just joined the chat.
Oh, did he?
Yeah, he did.
Where are you? Yep. I'm gonna have to have words with that raccoon.
This is one of the game that is impossible to lose.
Really?
There's no losing condition.
Wait, so you can't? That kind of sucks. So you mean that like if you get caught, you don't lose, or does it just load you from your last save?
Here's the thing. We, the guy, control everything. We can hack everything. Even the guy caught the main character and put her back in the cell. We can just hack and she get back out.
Oh, okay. But if you lose
There's
a base,
no losing condition so far.
But
Back when I was playing,
it starts you back from the beginning of the level. Then
it's the first 2 episodes. I do not know what's the new episode. Maybe they have a new losing condition, and it's like sometimes I like puzzles solving game, and this game it'll do a lot of that.
Right.
And it can get frustrating at some point, and it's like, oh, fuck.
So, I guess my question to you is like, this is all just stuff I've seen of it, and I didn't get to play any of the episodes. So personally, like, be absolutely brutally honest, would you like recommend this game, or do you think it's not that great?
I would recommend you guys to try it out first to see if it's your game or not, because I know the first 2 or 3 episodes now they make it free. If you want to continue the game, you have to pay for it, which is like $20 last time I see. But try the few episode. I like the game. I recommend it.
Fair enough. All right, sounds good. What about you, Scarfy? Any thoughts on Republic?
It's kind of interesting. Like, I feel as if this is like, like what is that game? What is that one? I feel as if this is like BioShock meets like this one game where you can just like take control of any system you wanted, which is kind of interesting. But I know that from the looks of it, it does kind of look like a Metal Gear Solid game, even though I can clearly see it's not a Metal Gear Solid game.
Right. But it's by the same developers as the 4th one, at least.
I think
sadly no Hideo Kojima, which really sucks.
No.
I think the best comparison to this game is the game called The Room.
Oh, really?
That's the best comparison game you can do, because it's like,
Okay, I'll keep that in mind. All right. Well, that being said, the next game I had is actually the 3rd installment of a series that, admittedly, I have not played, but I honestly, now, like, after seeing it, I really want to try it, because it just looks like the weird sort of game I would have played back in the day, or that my father and I would have played together and enjoyed. It's called, I may be butchering this. I believe it's pronounced Samarost 3. The link's in the description below, or well, it's in the chat thing. I just put it.
I don't mean to interrupt, but the next time you put the link in the chat, could you also put the title of it, please?
Yeah, sure. But Samarost 3 is it's a much more lighthearted game than the other ones we're talking about, and the game is from a group called Amanita Design, and they're the same people who made the game Machinarium and Botanicula. And both these games I've seen before, and they're weird, sort of like quirky point-and-click adventures. And so is this game. It's a point-and-click adventure and puzzle game that it promises to be definitely like a fun, cute, weird, all-in-one sort of game. Like I said, the makers of this game have had prequels. They had Samarost and Samarost 2. I've not played them. They both look they look a lot more disjointed. It looks like the story in these last two aren't as fleshed out as Samarost 3. But this game, a lot more, high definition graphics. It's full length story and gameplay. The game itself kind of reminds me if anyone ever played the old Sega game Toe Jam and Earl. Basically, you're traveling between different planets, taking on different quests from people, collecting items, meeting other people, and just sort of point and click wandering.
Why does it sound like No Man's Sky in a way?
Possibly. I mean, it's this sort of idea of a game and story has been done before, but beyond that, I don't know much about the story. The one thing that really gets it for me is the absolutely weird, again, it's visually well done, but just the weird scenery and characters you meet, and most importantly, the soundtrack. I absolutely adore the music that I heard when they were talking about this game, the music they had in it. I don't know who the director for the music is. Honestly, I don't care. All I know is the game it's one of those games I can sit back and listen to the soundtrack forever. So that's what I like for point-and-click adventures games. It's if you have a point-and-click adventure, you're eventually going to hit a point, unless the game is really poorly made, where you get really fucking stuck. And the last thing I want to do is listen to shitty tunes for the 30 minutes I'm getting more and more frustrated trying to solve a puzzle. So with this, it's no, I could actually listen to this the whole time, still be annoyed that I haven't solved the puzzle, but not wanting to rip my own eardrums out because I have to listen to this stupid 2-minute loop of crappy music. But anyway, this game, it just looks kind of cool, looks fun, seems like it really wouldn't be too stressful a game, a nice little laid-back, chill game for any gamers like that. It's being released just for the PC on March 24th.
Oh, it's kind of, well, that kind of makes sense considering, I'm not too sure if Samarost 1 or 2 had a console release.
I think they were all
I'm
PC.
pretty sure. Okay, that makes sense. It would make sense considering how you can go to 7 different planets. Okay, well, how fucking big are these planets to visit for it to be on a PC? Because PC games are usually pretty damn big.
Yeah, well, I mean, it depends, but yeah, PC games have been switching up a lot, especially with indie games coming in, where sometimes they're not that big, sometimes they're really quick, and I mean, but it is what it is. It can be big or small, same as console games nowadays. The thing that really makes PC games big that I've noticed is just the DLC people make. But I don't know. And now the consoles have DLCs, and now it's all every man's game, I guess.
I mean, from what I'm getting, I mean, it does in fact sound like No Man's Sky, which I am planning on getting just to see what the hubbub is all about, because people are saying, "Oh my gosh, this game looks great! I really want to get it." So
Right.
So at the same time, yeah, I totally want to see what's going on. I might look at the trailer. I didn't look at the trailer. I feel awful for not doing it, but yeah, I'll definitely see what this game has to offer.
Yep, just look at it when you have the time.
Yep, Zack knows Wolf Fu.
I do. I'm gonna be visiting my Wolf Fu on Shujja later.
Ooh.
Anyway. Okay, so the last one I have what was this from Cody? I never knew that. Now you do. Sorry. But the last game we have on was actually told to me from Scarfy, because he's a lot more in the know for games that are more handheld systems and things like that. I know nothing of 3DS news or anything, so I rely on him a lot for this. Whoa.
Oh.
It's Krüz coming in, but unfortunately you are crackly. Can you hear us?
Not Krüz, are you there?
Anyway.
We're gonna have to continue.
We will. And the next game is Hyrule Warrior Legends. I believe I just posted. Yes, posted the link with the title this time. Thank you for catching me on that, Scarfy. So this part of the game, I don't know much. I looked it over and it looks fun. I'm not huge. Unfortunately, I'm not the biggest Zelda fan as I used to be. So.
Well, I mean, for those of you who don't know what Hyrule Warriors is, it's basically it's Legend of Zelda meet Dynasty Warriors, and it's exactly what you expect from it.
Right.
It's Kote company is making it. There's nothing different. And it's every freaking year they coming out with new Dynasty Warrior with the same background. More fighting system, but so freaking hard to use.
Right, but basically this is sort of, it looks like almost a Game of the Year edition, because it comes with previously released DLC, and it has a whole bunch of new characters and new switches of characters. So there's one based around a new character called Linkle. There's different characters and environments from Wind Waker. There's Tetra, King. I don't even know some of these characters, admittedly. I just saw
Tetra, King Daphnis, and Toon Link, and they're all from Wind Waker, which I have played, and you should totally play it because it's one of the greatest Zelda games ever made. And
and is that the one?
I would. It's for GameCube and for Wii U as a HD remaster, but unfortunately, you don't have either of those systems, so it doesn't really matter to you. Yeah.
Yep. So I remember I was talking about the original one. The Games Adventure Mode has the new My Fairy system with additional maps. But what does that exactly mean? I didn't really get a good feel for what that does from the trailer or anything.
I'm not too sure. I think it's like I don't know exactly. You know, I didn't know what the My Fairy system was. I just was too focused on looking at Linkle, who's basically a female version of Link when you're playing Hyrule Warriors. So it is kind of interesting how, you know, like you can take this entire game and just, you know, flip it on its head and just make a Dynasty Warriors game off of it. I do apologize. I don't know what the My Fairy system is, and if anyone who is a hardcore Zelda fan who actually has the money to spend for Hyrule Warriors, please indulge me because I would like to learn. Otherwise, I will kind of have to stick with the regular Zelda games that I am currently playing as of right now, and I still need to beat the Oracle games, which are games from the Game Boy. So, but yeah, it does look interesting, and the graphics are very, very
they're great.
Yeah, they do look great.
And I just like the weird specialty attacks. Like and Dynasty Warriors does the same fun thing. There's something weirdly cathartic about just like tearing down waves of opponents, but if that's not your game style, then it's not your game style. It's not for you. But if you guys like Dynasty Warriors and you liked Legend of Zelda, this is sort of like getting both your fixes in one easy, convenient way. And it's coming out March 25th in 2000.
Oh, that's my father's birthday.
Oh, cool. Very nice.
Yes, it is. Even though he doesn't really play Zelda.
And it's for 3DS, yes?
Correct.
Okay, there you go.
I'm not too sure if it was the new 3DS or maybe the new 3DS, you know, has more stuff to offer if you're playing the game on a new 3DS. But for the most part, yeah, it is on a 3DS, and it's quite amazing how much, you know, graphics that thing can take. It's pretty fantastic, and I'd recommend anyone who has one of the original 3DSs to definitely upgrade ASAP to a new 3DS. You will not be disappointed.
Cool.
Yeah.
All right. That's all I have. Unless Shujja, if you had anything to say on Hyrule Warriors, or I don't know if you were a Dynasty Warriors fan or Dynasty Warriors gamer.
Used to be.
What happened?
They changed the history of it. That's why I don't like it anymore.
Yeah, they kind of changed the story, like literally changed historical facts and even like its own storyline every installment. It's like, well, this is new.
Changing is making no sense.
Right.
Just to make the game look, the combo look better.
Right.
I used to play that game because it's follow history track. That's how I aced my history quiz on that dynasty period.
Nice.
Just playing like 4 games in one week, and you get an A on the test. Don't worry about it.
Mm-hmm.
But then now it's just
All right. Yeah, that was true. They actually were relevant or accurate, historically accurate, not relevant. But then I don't know. They just sort of, I guess, fucking gave up. But anyway, I believe now we're on to movies with Scarfy.
Okay. Yeah, I will be talking about movies. The first movie that I want to talk about is a film called I Saw the Light. It is a 2015 biographical drama film directed, written, and produced by Mark Abraham, starring Tom Hiddleston as a country music legend, Hank Williams, and Elizabeth Olsen as his first wife, Audrey Williams. It is based on the book Hank Williams, the biography by Colin Escott, George Merritt, and William Bill McEwen. It was screened in the special presentation section of 2015 Toronto International Film Festival. The film is a dramatization of country and blues singer-songwriter Hank Williams' life and rise to fame as one of the country music's most popular and influential artists. The title comes from the gospel song of the same name, written and performed by Williams. The film is scheduled to be released on March 25th, 2016 by Sony Picture Classics. Country music prejudices aside, you have to admit it is pretty cool that Tom Hiddleston has such a dignity from the guy who plays Loki, could play a role where country music is really considered passé, for lack of a better word, even though I could easily say, more unpopular terms. But in all seriousness, the film does look decent enough, even though I have a very bad problem stereotyping country Southern people being all religious, Republican, and against a whole bunch of other things that Democrats favor. But I'm not going to do that because that was then and this is now. Anyways, I'm sure there are some people who admired the person more than I do, but given that statement, this film will be released in March 25th, 2016. I'm not sure if you guys ever listened to Hank Williams. I've never listened to Hank Williams a day before in my life. So I'm not too sure, honestly, what to say on this entire matter, but if you think, that's for me. What do you think, Zach?
I got nothing. I've heard his music, and once again, he falls in that same sort of era with me of like really, really early Johnny Cash and Conway Twitty and a bunch of the proper like classic country guys that they just weren't that interesting to me. They weren't bad, and they had nice little music and stuff, but it's admittedly music that my grandmother grew up with more than anything else, and it's like I love me some country, but in most of the music I listen to, like my favorite country folk musician to this day, and I think honestly one of the greatest songwriters of our generation, yes, I will boldly make that claim because his writing style is incredible, is Jason Isbell. But his stuff isn't like, oh, my dog died and blah, blah, blah. And it also isn't, it's so good to live in the U.S. and to be, like, it's none of those weird stereotypes you get from country music. It's like, so here are these things that are very unique situations spoken with a voice of experience that people don't like to have to think about. And it's bringing those emotions and that sort of discomfort to the forefront and presenting it to you in a way that you can relate to. And that's those elements of country, and that's really just more being a proper storyteller than anything. That's what I started liking. There were some great country and folk storytellers nowadays, and that's what drives me. But this guy, I don't fucking know. I got no pros or cons against him. I've heard some of his music, but nothing that's like close.
I wouldn't be surprised if people went to go see this movie just because they want to see Loki as Tom Hiddleston.
Oh, I'm sure. I mean, the film itself, from what you showed me, I guess I should go with that. The film itself looks actually
Loki
really
as
cool.
Hank Williams, rather.
Yeah. The film looks really good. It looks like impactful and very strong. I just know nothing about this character. I'd rather see what was the one we talked about like last week or the week before, Race, the one about Jesse Owens.
Yep.
I'd rather see that. That one looks really cool to
me. What do you think, Jonah? I mean, Jonah. What do you think, Shujja? You're like you're the biggest.
What you're talking about?
Shujja, what do you think about this film?
I watched the trailer and I say drama. Oh god. And I look over, oh right, I'm in a furry fandom. Nope, I already have enough drama. Do not need more.
Fair enough.
All right.
That's fair.
Okay. Well, I guess we can move on to our next film.
Sure.
Our next film is a film that I'm pretty sure a lot of people know. It's My Big Fat Greek Wedding 2. It's an upcoming 2016 American romantic comedy film directed by Kirk Jones and written by Nia Vardalos. The film stars Vardalos, John Corbett, Lainey Kazan, Michael Constantine, Andrea Martin, Ian Gomez, and Elena Comproy. It is the sequel to My Big Fat Greek Wedding, which was released in 2002. Filming began in late May 2015 in Toronto. It is scheduled to be released for March 25th, 2016 by Universal Pictures. After spending most of their time focusing on their teenage daughter who's just graduated high school and headed off to college soon, Tula and Ian are facing marital problems while also having to deal with yet another Greek wedding, this time even bigger and fatter. Unfortunately, I have yet to see the spiritual predecessor that is the first one. And honestly, from what I see, unless for some faithful cult following fans will probably see this film as absolutely atrocious, it looks funny to me at least, but perhaps faithful companions of the movie will say otherwise. Personally, as I have not seen the first one, I'm not too sure what to think of it, but maybe you guys will like it. And I will ask, do Greek people really get that attached to family like that? Anyways. The film will be released on March 25th, 2016.
Yes.
Just that's all you can say. Just yes.
To your question, do Greek people get attached to like that? A lot of them do, actually.
Oh,
Sorry, go ahead, Shujja. You.
Oh, sorry about that. This movie reminds me one of my classic favorite comedy movie,
Which one?
Home Alone.
This reminds
Oh,
me
well,
of,
that's
of
a
Home
Christmas.
Alone.
Well, that's a Christmas movie. Come on. And not only that, that's like Rube
Sorry,
Goldberg.
I don't separate movie into Christmas.
No, like
Well, even still.
I'm just curious. How does it remind you of Home Alone?
Just kind of like I watched the trailer, but maybe I got the wrong idea. But like one girl just like, why are you sick together like that? Give me a fucking break.
Oh yeah. Okay. Never mind. I can see that. That makes more sense. Gotcha.
Mm-hmm.
So kind of remind me of Home Alone. It looks funny, but maybe not the type of movie I would bring my mother to see with. Unless I want to spend the rest of my life with her, with family, and I plan not to.
I mean, like, personally, the stereotype, of course, is, Greek families are really big and really into each other's lives and everything. And I've met a few people who are of Greek descent, and they are very much like that, and I've met people who aren't, so there is that.
Why are they like the way that they are? I always wanted to know that. I never really got that part.
Once again, it's a stereotype, but still, it's like there's the idea that in Greece, family is just a much more important construct. So people like to be really close. People don't always move away. Sometimes you'll have a couple of generations worth of family living in the same household, and it's just part of it. So
That's not mine.
But to me, like the weird thing is, I saw the trailers for My Big Fat Greek Wedding 1. I had no interest in watching it. I thought it looked ridiculously stupid. I had no interest at the time, and maybe I've changed.
And then it got like this massive cult following of being one of the great comedies of our time.
No, I still haven't seen it. I still don't give a shit about it. But maybe I've changed, or maybe this movie's different or better. But like this one actually looks entertaining to me. Like watching the trailer for this is like, this actually looks kind of fucking funny. I'd be willing to watch it. But like, yeah, the first one to this day, I'm just like, nah, brah, nah. So
Sorry, not my thing.
basically.
Ooh.
So, shall we move on to our next film?
I suppose so, unless you have something else to bring up about that.
I mean, like, don't get me wrong. It's like I have nothing against My Big Fat Greek Wedding, and I haven't seen it, and I'm pretty sure there are some one-liners in there. But I haven't seen it, and if I did see it, I think I would have loved it. And you know, I have a thing for schmaltzy comedy, but you know, that's just me. But yeah, I guess we can move to our final film that's going to be released. But then we have the upcoming films, so don't worry about that, guys. Our final film that is coming out that I'm pretty sure a lot of people are either really excited about or just very, very meh about it. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice. It is a follow-up to the 2013 comic book film Man of Steel and the second installment in the DC Extended Universe. The film is directed by Zack Snyder with a screenplay written by Chris Terrio and David S. Goyer. The film stars Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Amy Adams, Jesse Eisenberg, Diane Lang, Lawrence Fishburne, Jeremy Irons, Holly Hunter, and Gal Gadot. Batman vs. Superman: Dawn of Justice will be the first live-action film to feature both Batman and Superman, as well as the first theatrical film to feature live-action portrayals of Wonder Woman as well as other characters. This is one of the films that I think most comic nerds are excited about. Personally, I will say I feel as if I'm more intimidated by it than I would be its flashy characters. From the announcement of Ben Affleck as Batman to the reveal of Wonder Woman, I honestly am not sure how this film will be, considering that it is introducing loads upon loads of different characters. You would think that because this film is called Batman vs. Superman, it would only have the title characters in them. However, I, for one, am looking forward to this film, and I'm sure a lot of people are, and I'm sure a lot of people aren't, considering that it's going to lead up to the equivalent of the action-packed goofiness that is Avengers, instead being Justice League. But only time and an insane amount of character backstories, character title films, as well as a ton of money will tell. The film will be released on March 25th, 2016 as well.
Man, March 25th is a big time for films.
It is. And, you know, like, a lot of people, I asked some people if they were going to see Batman versus Superman, and honestly, I mean, I honestly couldn't tell. Like, I honestly couldn't tell why people didn't want to see it. Like, it was kind of weird. Like, I guess, you know, they are kind of, a little people are annoyed. Like, I'm pretty sure a lot of the comic book communities are annoyed that they're starting with Batman versus Superman, but hey, you're showing all of these characters, so isn't it technically going to be Justice League now? So
yeah, basically.
I know, like, so I don't understand why this film is called Batman versus Superman: Dawn of Justice when it kind of does look like the very first Justice League film, which is really a shame because not only that, but they also have to follow up on all of these other characters that are getting their that they're going to be filming about. So
yeah, bring in the DC.
I honestly don't know what to say.
It seems like DC's response to, like you said, it feels like in the middle of writing it, the people who were in charge of the script realized that Avengers were coming out with Civil War. And they're like, ah, shit, that's a really good idea. That's going to make a lot of money. Brah, we should totally do that. Brah, we have other characters. Brah, let's do it. And they just start, fucking force shoveling in these other characters to just sort of make it a thing. I'm just like, I don't know. It just feels from the time of it to everything else, it feels like a cash grab. The story itself, like, I can see elements of when they're writing it, like, I know I'm not the biggest comic book fan. I've read a few, and I know some of the stories just from friends who've told me that there's one of, whether it's Justice League or something else, like Superman actually going evil, actually turning into a bad guy, or sort of like losing, or just going about like justice in a much more brutal, like violent manner. And there's a scene in the trailer where you see his eyes glow red, and that was part of it, where it's just like he basically fucks up some bad guys and decides, I'm gonna start killing. I'm done with this. I'm gonna do the final solution. And Batman has to come about and be like, nah, brah, I'm putting a stop to this, and takes care of that. So if that was what this story was, I think that'd be a really cool story. As it stands, I have no idea what to think of it. It sounds like they're just trying to put as many DC characters as they can.
Probably. And will you be seeing this film? I mean, I know I'm gonna see it just because, like, it's gonna be like the biggest blockbuster of March, and you know that's just how people are these days. And
I don't know. I mean, I still want to see. I still have plans to go and see Civil War eventually. I really want to see that, but this one just doesn't interest me as much.
You know, I want to talk about Wonder Woman. Like, a lot of people say that Wonder Woman, like, kind of has, you know, like, why aren't they making a Wonder Woman movie? Why aren't they making a Wonder Woman movie? And, like, you know, my film teacher put it best. The reason why they can't make a Wonder Woman film is because Wonder Woman has no conflict. There's no conflict with her. She's basically a perfect character. So I'm like, yeah, that makes sense. I mean, like, I mean, you can't really make a film without having any conflict in the film.
Right.
So,
like,
you know, and that's what
an extreme sense of like feminine pride and feminism, which isn't a bad thing, but with a very patriarchal society that the rest of us are, that can come in conflict with the views that are had, and that can be interesting. But as a like personality wise, yeah, I guess not really. Just societally, really, there's more of a conflict.
Yeah. I mean, like, I mean, don't get me wrong. Like, this one film, I think, is like wanting to be one of the. I don't know. Like, I just feel as if, there a lot of people say that this film is going to be horrible, while other people are going to say that this film is going to be good. And the problem is that it was directed by Zack Snyder, and it was the same person who made Man of Steel, and a lot of people either really liked Man of Steel or really hated Man of Steel.
Right.
So only time is going to tell if this film is going to be excellent, passé, or atrocious.
Right,
so,
right.
What do you think, Shujja?
Well, I never really big of comic fan or any of the superhero thingy.
Right.
So, like, okay, they come out with another movie that's Batman versus Superman, and the plot, to me, I just feel like I've seen this before.
Right.
And I think I did because I played one of the games that have similar background story to it. It's called, I don't remember the name of the game. It's Injustice, yes.
Oh, okay.
Oh, Injustice. I forgot about that game.
It's basically Batman versus Superman. Superman girlfriend die, and it's like, oh my god, I lost my girlfriend. I'm gonna kill every single one of you. And then Joker went good, which is like, what?
Wow. Oh yeah, no shit. Yeah, I did see this. I did see the trailers for this when it was first coming out, and actually it looked really, really cool. But back then I had no fucking money, so I never got around to playing it.
But like when it first come out, it's like $60. It's like, okay.
I will have to say, having Jeremy Irons play as Alfred the Butler, I kind of think is going to be really, really well. Because I don't know about you guys, but I love Jeremy Irons. He's just this slimy little voice that just loves to talk in this like great passionate way, and I don't know why.
What else has he been in?
He was Profion in the critically panned Dungeons and Dragons film.
Okay.
He was Scar in The Lion King.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he was in a lot of films.
He sings nice.
Of course, I know it from Scar of all things. So, I'll put the furry trash hashtag under my name at some point.
Oh Lord.
Anyway, but yeah, so that's all I really have to say.
But yeah, like I mean, I'm going to see this film. I mean, I'm probably going to see it. I want to say. I thought the film opened on Wednesday. No, it opens on Thursday. It's open on the 25th. There might be a showing on Thursday. Okay. All right. Well, I'll probably see this film Thursday. But yeah, we can move on to finally our upcoming films. Our first upcoming film is a film that took everyone by surprise, Sausage Party.
I honestly thought this was a joke when I first saw it. I mean, it is a joke, but,
It is a joke. I mean, like, it's supposed to be a spoof of both DreamWorks and Pixar films. And I'm like, oh my god. Like,
it's gotta be a joke. I don't believe this gonna be.
Should have still in denial.
When I first see the trailer, I say, "What the fuck?"
Once you see that shit,
oh my god,
it'll fuck you up for life. I was like,
what animation? So it's probably gonna read PG-18 now because like all the curse words.
Right.
I am both ecstatic and worried at the same time. Part of me wants to go see this film while another part of me just wants to curl up as a wolf and cry because I feel as if this film.
I do not excited for this film. I'm sorry. I
don't know. Like I feel as this film is a better version of the critically panned Food Fight starring what was that guy's name? The person who Charlie Sheen. Yeah.
Yeah. I know what you're talking about. That. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah, but I don't know. Like, what do you think about this film? Personally, I think like it's actually going to be. It could be really good or really bad, but I mean, granted, this film is a spoof, but
right.
you know.
Shujja, you go first.
Hmm?
You go first. I feel like I've been going first after Scarfy the whole time, so I'm changing the rotation.
Okay, about this film.
Yeah.
One word.
Uh
Frustrating.
huh. Okay. Would you like to expound on that?
Because like I see some of the joke that from my country, if this movie shown in my country, I'm gonna bring my cousin to see it, just to see him curse out in the theater. I just want to see that.
That's fair.
I mean, like,
Because
we don't even know what it can be. We don't even know what it will be. But what if this film actually turns out to be really good is what I want to know.
But here's the thing. Here's my bias. After Utopia, it's kind of like making me wary about every single trailer I watch from now on. Because like, once Utopia trailer did not really, it's twist completely after you see the movie. It's actually go into more depth on a certain subject, which is like, really no. Because like it's like, but like my opinion on this movie is like 50-50 right now. It's like I kind of hate it, but not really.
Right.
Like,
Maybe
I mean,
just-
I don't know. Like, part of me really wants to go see it just to see if it's going to be as good as people think it's going to be.
Quick question:
What?
What is our show rate? Like PG-13 or whatever?
PG Wolves.
What?
PG Wolves. We're rated PG Wolves.
Okay, I don't give a damn that.
I had a meeting with HR. They told me that's the new rating.
And the May of his life.
So you talked with MPAA, and our show is definitely rated PG Wolves.
Yep, that is
Okay.
correct.
Okay. That's like me. I want to address the chat something. That's like me asking Zack, let's become nuns. Zack, want to do it? And then Zack goes, okay, as of right now, we are officially nuns, just because we said so. And I'm like, all right, Mother Gray.
Perfect. I'm cool with this as long as I keep drinking. That's part of it, right? You can drink as a nun.
Yeah, I mean,
Oh, that's
Yeah.
died out soon.
But yeah, Sausage Party. I am both tempted to see it, and I'm also both worried to see it at the same time. Just
You know what?
I want to wait until the reviews come out, but then after it, dies down, I'll be the judge of whether I should see it or not.
Right.
You know what? Have you noticed that the sausage and the bun
Yes. I know where you're going with this, and yes.
kind of disturbing and
Yeah, why is the bun's mouth side? Wait, never mind.
Yep.
Mm.
But to put up back at what was going to be, or what I assume was actually with this movie, it's one of the ones I would not mind seeing, but it's something
If you were
that
drunk.
No, not even drunk. I'd be happily see it sober. Like between just the weird comedy, the fact they have the balls to have a Saving Private Ryan scene in it was great. But I think it would actually be amusing. It's just one of those things that like it would have to be me and a bunch of friends. I'm not seeing it alone for damn certain.
Right. Well, I mean, it does have an A-list cast. I mean, you have Seth Rogen and all these other actors. So who knows? Maybe this film actually will be good. I don't know.
Nero says it has 100% tomatoes rating.
For now, let's wait until the film actually comes out. Okay.
I'm aware, but even still, that's surprising that Rotten Tomatoes, like whoever it would give that on Rotten Tomatoes.
You know what? I'm gonna look that up real quick. I want to see how many reviews of that particular film has, because if it only has one review, then obviously that person doesn't really matter, because other people really need to see it themselves, not just.
Fair enough.
But yeah, I mean, like you have Seth Rogen, James Franco. Okay, the film has 5 reviews that are saying it's 100%. So, yeah, I mean,
So that's
it's
5.
coming out on.
So that's 5 people's whose opinion don't matter. Sorry. Sorry.
Well, it's going to be in theaters in August 26th in August, but we'll talk about that when we get to that film later,
Sure,
probably in another episode at another time. But anyway, I guess we can move on to our next film. Our next film that is upcoming is a film called Ben-Hur. It's a sequel to the 1960s classic, I want to say. I'm not sure if it was 1960s or 1950s.
Mhm.
I haven't seen the original Ben-Hur myself, but, you know,
I don't know, I'd really have to see the original Ben-Hur to know if a sequel is necessary for this film or not, because it looks interesting to say the least. But the fact that people are making a sequel of Ben-Hur, to a classic film is like the same as say, oh, we're going to make a remake of Cecil B. DeMille's The Ten Commandments and have a film that is remade called The Ten Commandments. Did you put it on 1950?
No,
Thank you very much, Cody. Are you going to put the link on the chat?
I'm grabbing it. Something was going down. Give me a sec.
Hmm.
Continue with your discussion. I will take care of things.
But yeah, Ben-Hur, what do you think about this film, Shujja?
Which one?
Ben-Hur.
Ben-Hur. Never heard of it. Oh, it's right.
I feel really, really vulnerable because I haven't seen this film.
Why? You always say that.
What do you think, Zack?
I've heard of the film actually. I weirdly enough, I hear mostly about it at my work. It's a lot of film classes put it for their assigned viewings, so I have to put it up at the campus library I work at. I'm not gonna get much deeper into that, but I haven't actually seen the film. It's I know it was a big budget film. It's something that a lot more money went into this film than pretty much any film around its time. So it was a big budget movie. It got a lot of praise. It's considered a classic. But that being said, I'm not gonna lie, I was frantically going through Wikipedia to try and find something to remind me of anything I heard most. I've never heard the story of this film before. I know bits about it because when I talk to the students, they say it's oh, it's this blah blah blah. It's some say it's a masterpiece. Some are just oh, they put so much money, it was such a big whatever. But they never give me specifics now that I think back about it, so I know nothing.
Well, Cody knows a bit about it. If Cody can tell us a little bit more about Ben-Hur, that would be great. Because honestly, it's just it does look interesting to say the least. And I mean, I've never seen Ben-Hur, and for me to spend. And it's one of 3 films that has actually won one of the Oscars sweep, which was actually a very, very high honor. Only 2 other films have done that, that being Titanic and Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. So, yeah, if anyone can talk about Ben-Hur, that'd be great, because I know next to nothing about this film, even though I haven't seen the 1950s classic. And I am tempted to see it just to see what this Ben-Hur is going to be like. But, yeah. I guess we can move on to our next film. Our next upcoming film is The Legend of Tarzan. It's a quote-unquote remake. I would say that, but unfortunately the film is not made by Disney, even though it kind of looks like a Disney film, even though I can clearly tell it's not. But, Legend of Tarzan looks great. I've seen the Disney version of Tarzan, and I like... This film looks interesting, but I'm not too sure if I would spend big bucks. I'm not too sure if I would spend $10 for a movie ticket just to see this film and see what it's like. What do you think, Zack?
I mean, it looks like it sort of looks like a cheaper remake. So, we mentioned one of the last shows how the Jungle Book was coming out, the new Jungle Book. Mm-hmm. It seems like a cheaper version of that. Again, a lot of these remakes always feel like cash grabs to me, so I always have a little bit of issues with it. That being said,
I wouldn't really say it's a remake unless it's a remake of the original live-action Tarzan, because, I haven't seen the live-action Tarzan either.
Touche, Scarfy, touche. But that being said, I don't know. I'm not particularly for it, against it. But yeah, I probably won't see it just because even the one I had seen was, of course, the Disney Tarzan, and I didn't really care much for the Disney one. I didn't hate it, but it just like one of those things as a kid. So it's it was alright when I saw it. Mm-hmm. So that's all I have. What about you, Shujja?
Here's the thing about me and Disney. Animation, okay. Song, love it.
Oh, okay.
This is a live action film.
They are a great song and catchy.
So I know Cody really likes. I know Cody's favorite film was Tarzan, but that's slowly being taken over by Zootopia as we speak. So
yeah, I think that's true for a lot of people, though.
Mm-hmm. But Tarzan, the storyline to it is okay. Same with the other one, except for Zootopia. But the music in it is amazing, which is like I seen this trailer, I say there's no music in it.
Well, that's because it's not owned by Disney, dear.
Yeah, it's not Disney.
That's
It's
why I say nope.
Yep, that's I think what Shujja was trying to get to as a point is, and though it's not animation, which I think is okay, it's not the songs which I actually love. The fuck am I doing here? And just not interested.
Not interesting.
So we can agree unanimously, meh. On this one is definitely a meh. Okay.
Yeah.
And our final upcoming film is a film called Miss Peregrine's Home for Peculiar Children. I think this film was possibly based on a book. I'm not too sure.
It is. I want to see this so bad. I always regretted never reading the book. Everyone tells me it's a fantastic book. You have to read it, yada, yada. And I want to actually watch the movie first and then get the book. I'm pretty. Go ahead.
I think what makes it a selling point for me is that it's directed by Tim Burton, and
that is a good one. I admit.
A lot of people love Tim Burton, and you can't go wrong with Tim Burton.
Right, but for me, like I want to do that and get the book afterwards, just to sort of compare the notes. But I don't want to ruin the movie. The movie just looks weird, cool, fun, a little like the right amount of lighthearted and a little more suspenseful or darker. That it's like you said, it's just very Tim Burton in the way it looks. It's Tim Burton with more color, right. And I'm cool with that. And it just seems like the weird sort of crazy, creative, extraordinary thing I'd like to watch. So of all the things we talked about today, movie wise, I have to say like. That one is probably the one I have the most interest in. So
right, makes sense.
Shujja? Did we lose a Shujja?
I don't know if we lost Shujja.
He's here, but I don't hear him.
He's here, but I don't hear him. Well, this is awkward.
Yep. Oh, there he goes.
Shujja, are you there?
Nah, he disappeared for a bit, and if that's the case, all right. Well, I guess we can call it on that. We can wait for him. I don't really have anything else.
Oh, he said he got kicked off the chat. Well, that's fun. Okay. That is no fun for him. Let us give him back the link so that he can get back on.
You do that. Anyway, so Scarfy, do you want to tell them the reason why we shamelessly have all the contact information on our picture? Or are you busy giving Shujja a link?
I'm giving them a link, but I can talk about it.
Okay.
So yeah, we have contact information. If you guys want to send us an email that we can read, we can ask questions regarding those emails. You can follow us on Twitter. You can also follow us on Tumblr. I would put the Tumblr link on, but I don't really think that's necessary considering that email is the way to go. So if you guys want to send us an email, please do. And be sure to follow us on Twitter on Subwuffer at SubwufferET, and send us an email, subwufferentertainment@gmail.com. Oh no, Shujja said that his laptop got disconnected. That is not a fun thing at all.
Nope. Okay. Well, if that is what it is, then we can end now or wait for him to come back. To let people know, the email's there also. Like you said, you can send questions. If anyone has any questions right now, we'll probably be wrapping up about 9, I'd say, at the latest. This is a shorter show. The last couple ones we've done very long shows just because we had so much to cover. And today was just a more chill week, so we'd like to hear back from you guys. You have something to say?
Most definitely, and we just figure it would be like a more simplistic version. We kind of went from. There was a lot of energy that really took. I think it really took a toll on me on last show, but there is something to say about this show, and this show is not disappointing so far. We weren't able to get Krüz on it, which is a shame, and he just got back from Maryland, so hopefully he'll be back as ASAP. But at the same time, I mean, oh God. Cody just says,
huh?
All right, you know what? No, Cody, no.
No. Well, I don't know. We can ask the resident of Falf, although the mic sounds odd. Hello, Shujja, you there?
Shujja is not a Falf.
You have your story, we have ours. But quick, is Shujja there? Hello, paging Shujja. Cricket.
I'm here, but I might be out again.
That's fine. We have like 5 minutes left of the show, so we might be.
Scarfy.
Wait, what? Hello.
His mic's going. Anyway, but that being said, what is a falf? Negunala, don't pretend.
It's a mix between a wolf and a fox.
Which Shujja is not.
Is
Yes, I can deal with it.
We're called Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse for a reason, damn it.
he's still,
It's
he's still mostly
that
wolf.
you don't know what species I am.
He called you out. Oh dear. Okay. Well, thank you, both Aaron and Negunala, because I don't know if you've been on watching one of our shows before, so it's good to see you. Always a pleasure having friends support our silliness.
Yay!
Yes, most definitely.
And thank you everyone who comes in
Who sent that
regularly and
question?
deals with us. Aaron, also known as Esteban, and Negunala.
Yeah. Just a quick question: Is there any any questions on the account or no?
Oh no.
Any email?
I thought I meant
Any letters?
No, we don't have any new letters as of current. But please do ask us shameless questions. We may or may not answer them. If nothing else,
I want to.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you and just so you know, you can use you can make it so that we don't have to say your name. You can just type anonymous or something like that, and we'll keep it that way.
Yep.
We have no problem doing that.
Not at all.
Bum, 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 bum.
All right. Is that it? We good?
Yeah. Without further, we need to talk about Sunday. Next Sunday, that is. As you all know, next before we go, next Sunday is going to be Easter, and we will be streaming on Easter. So I just wanted to let you guys know that we will be streaming on Easter, and we'll be asking the question, what would furry Jesus do? Which
There's
Zack
no
would.
Jesus in furry.
I read that wrong because there's another one which is what would when you sent me the acronym what would false Jesus do is actually what I normally see more often, and so yeah.
No, I put furry Jesus.
No, you put the acronym. You did not put any words.
Okay, well, Fox Jesus or furry Jesus, it really doesn't matter.
Forgive your gifts. I know him on Twitter.
Oy.
Jesus Fox, a forgiver of gifts.
But yeah, without further ado, we will be streaming on Easter. So if you guys have nothing else to do on Easter, you be sure to come. We'll be happy to have you guys. And this has been Subwuffer Entertainment Treehouse. My name is Scarfy.
To add on to that, or if you do have stuff to do and you just want to make all the people around you feel uncomfortable listening to talking wolves talk about furry stuff, listen anyway. Put the speakers on extra loud. We'll be louder for you. Just let us know. I'm Zack Gray. Pleasure being with you kids.
And I'm Shujja Flo.
And in memorandum, cheers to Krüz. We'll have him on the next show, hopefully.
Okay. See you guys then.
Take care, everyone.